Hey everyone, and welcome. Let's talk about a problem that I'm pretty sure we all have: information overload. We're going to dive into a really cool new AI tool that's built to take those mountains of documents we all deal with and just turn them into instant insights.
So, does this look familiar to you? I mean, that never ending pile of reports, research papers, PDFs, you name it. The stuff you know you need to get through. It's a huge bottleneck. Doesn't matter if you're a student, a developer, a professional, it hits everyone. But what if there was a better way? Okay, so here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll really nail down this overload problem. Then we'll jump into the AI solution and why it's such a game changer. After that, we'll peek under the hood at the 5-step pipeline, and we'll wrap up by talking about how this is basically setting a whole new standard. All right, let's dive into our first section. This isn't just about having too much to read. It's way deeper than that. We're talking about that daily, almost grinding struggle to find the one important piece of information that's buried somewhere in all that text. I mean, think about it. Every single day, you're just getting hit with this flood of documents, right? PDFs, Word files, even those kind of grainy scans of old paper. And the goal is always the same: find something useful, something actionable. But the sheer volume, it just makes it feel, well, almost impossible sometimes. And this right here, this slide just lays it out perfectly. Look at the old way. You're manually reading, you're sifting through pages, taking notes. That can take minutes, even hours. Now, look at the new way. Bam! Instant AI-generated summaries. We're talking seconds. This isn't just an improvement, it's a total game changer. So the big question is, how in the world do we get from hours down to seconds? Well, that's where this AI-powered solution comes in. It's all about turning those documents, that raw data, into a springboard for making real decisions. Okay, so here's the core of it. What we have is a fully serverless API, and it does two really, really smart things. First, you feed it any document, and it spits out a perfect 3-sentence executive summary. But, and this is the cool part, it doesn't just stop there. It actually lets you ask follow-up questions so you can dig deeper right away. It's brilliant. And for those of you who are curious about the tech, here's what's powering the whole thing. It's a pretty modern stack. You've got Google Cloud Run for scaling, Document AI doing the heavy lifting on text extraction. The brains of the operation is the Gemini Flash model, and it's all wrapped up nicely with Fast API and Docker to make it a clean, solid service. So yeah, the tech is super cool, no doubt. But what's the real-world impact, right? This is where we get to the important part, moving from what it is to, so what? Why does this actually matter? Okay, just look at this number for a second, 80%. An 80% reduction in the time you spend reviewing documents. Let me put that a different way. For every 5 hours you used to spend just reading, you now get 4 of those hours back. That's not just a small improvement, that is a massive shift in productivity. So let's break down the key benefits. First, and this is the big one, massive time savings. You get the main point in seconds. Second, it's super efficient and scalable. Because it's serverless, it can handle one person using it or thousands, and it just works. And third, and this is crucial, it's secure. Your data stays your data. You're always in control. All right, so by now you're probably wondering, okay, but how does the magic actually happen? So let's pull back the curtain and look at the pipeline. We'll see exactly how a simple file upload turns into an instant insight. Before we get into the steps, there's one quick thing we gotta talk about: serverless. Now, this can sound a bit confusing. It doesn't mean there are no servers. It just means you don't have to worry about them. The cloud provider, in this case Google, handles all of that for you automatically. So the service can scale up from 0, literally costing you nothing when it's idle, to handling thousands of requests a minute. It's the definition of efficiency. So here's how that whole process plays out, step by step. It all starts when you upload your file. Could be a PDF, a Word doc, whatever. Then, Document AI jumps in and pulls out all the text, even if it's a messy scan. Step 3, the Gemini Flash model does its thing and crafts that perfect 3-sentence summary. Then, you get to ask your follow-up questions to get more detail. And boom, the last step, everything is delivered right back to you, instantly. It's just a super smooth, elegant flow from start to finish. So, what's the big takeaway here? When you put all this together, it's really more than just another clever tool, isn't it? What we're actually looking at is a whole new standard for how we work with information. It's about shifting away from that tedious, busy work and focusing on what actually matters. And I think this quote just says it all. Prioritize decisions over data drudgery. That really hits the nail on the head. See, the whole point of tech like this isn't just to make us work faster. It's to free up our mental energy, our brain power, for the stuff that humans are good at: high-level thinking, strategy, and making those smart decisions that really push things forward. So I want to leave you with this one final question to think about. What would actually change for you, for your team, or even your whole industry if you could just instantly understand the core essence of every single document that comes your way? The possibilities there, they're pretty incredible. Thanks for joining me.